Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be going through the solution to exercise 1.20 from the C programming language textbook by Brian Kernighan and Dennis Ritchie. Now, exercise 1.20 says to write a program detab that replaces tabs in the input with a proper number of blanks to space to the next tab stop. Assume a fixed set of tab stops, say every n columns. Should n be a variable or a symbolic parameter? Now, just to answer that final part of the question, in my opinion, n should be a variable. That is just because depending on your program, depending on your programming language, depending on the style that you wish to implement, the tab stop can change. In some instances, you want a tab stop of 2, sometimes 4, sometimes 8. So in my opinion, it should be a variable. Now, up until now, we haven't learned or covered how to get user input. So I'm going to actually just use a constant or a symbolic parameter. I'm going to call mine tab stop. I'm going to set it equal to 4, just because that is what I currently use when I'm coding. Now, just to go over and make sure that we know what we mean by tab stop, what it really means is when we hit tab, if we keep track of where our cursor is, our cursor position, then from our cursor position up until the next position that is a multiple of 4, those positions should be filled with blanks. So here we are at position 3 when we hit tab. So 3 up until the next multiple of 4 should be all filled with blanks. Similarly, it's shown here. Now, this case is a little more important because it will help us implement our solution. Here we are at position 6, and so the next multiple of 4 is 8, and it should be all filled with blanks. Now, the question is, how can we determine how many blanks we must put in or must print? Now, a simple way of finding this out is to first figure out how many non-blank characters have we put before or after the previous multiple of 4. So here I'm at 6. How many characters have I put before the previous multiple of 4, which is 4? Well, I've only put 1, right? Because here is the previous multiple of 4. I've only put an O and then I hit tab. So I've only put 1. So what I can do is say, all right, I've only put 1 after the next or the previous multiple of 4. That means I only need 4 minus 1 blanks. Okay, that's how many more characters or blanks I need to get to this next multiple. Now, what's really handy with this is we can use the modulus operator, which essentially gives us the remainder when dividing two numbers. So here I have 5. I'm at position 5. That is the last input character that is not a blank. And so if I take 5 modulus 4, that will give me 1, which is the number of characters I have input here. Just this O. So let's implement this. I'm going to use an integer C for reading and user input, and I'm going to declare an integer number of blanks for the number of blanks we should print. And I'm going to declare and initialize a integer called position, which will keep track of the position, and I'm going to start it at 1. Now I'm going to read and user input using the method we've been shown so far in the book. And now we should check. If the character we read in was a tab, this is where we should implement our solution. So what we should first do is set the number of blanks and figure out how many blanks do we need to print. So as I said, here in this situation, we need to first figure out how many how many characters have we put in before our tab that is after the previous multiple of 4. So if we were at position 6, we need to first backtrack, right, to the O. So here I'm going to backtrack position -1. And so now I have backtracked, and then I ask myself, this character, how far ahead is it of the previous multiple of 4? Well, I can just take a modulus operator. It will give me the remainder. So if I take 5 divided by 4, I get 1. So I am 1 past the previous multiple of 4. And so to do that, I use this percent symbol. And I do this. Now we are not quite done yet because this now only gives me 1, right? So I was at position 6, I backtrack to 5, then 5 modulus of 4 is 1. So I've only put in 1 character after the previous multiple of 4. Now I need to make sure that I subtract what I have just got from tab stop. And this will tell me how many more characters are left to reach the next multiple of 8. So let's just go through this. Say we were at position 6, I hit tab. I'm going to backtrack before the tab here. Now I ask, what position is this relative to the previous multiple of 4? Position 5 is 1 ahead of 4, or the remainder when 5 divided by 4 is 1. So I am 1 ahead of 4. If I am 1 ahead of 4, to get to the 8, all I need to do is take the tab stop for minus 1. And that's what I do here. And now I can go into a while, or a for loop actually. A for loop would be better. So while in I is equal to 0, I want to loop through this number of blank times. And then I plus plus. And then I just want to put, I'm going to use put just because I'm going to be putting a single character. And then I'm going to increment the position. Otherwise, if we haven't printed out or if we haven't input a tab, we should check if we input a new line character, because in that situation, that means we should reset our position or the position of our cursor. So we should first just put the character we read in, that new line character, and then I can reset position to equal 1. Otherwise, if neither of those situations occurred, just put the character, and I'm going to copy this, increment the position. Now I'm going to compile this using GCC. Hopefully we get no errors. Nice, let me just test the program now. And so what if we just type in HE tab? Oh, actually, that doesn't show anything. So what am I going to do? HELLO, hello, tab, hi. We see here, okay. Hello, this is tab A, tab test. All right. So our tab stop should be 4. So here we have 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, we need to make sure it's a multiple of 4. So this is position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Should highlight this. 14, 15, 16, 17. And then we hit tab. 18, 19, 20. 20 is a multiple of 4, so it has been filled out with blanks. Pretty sure here the tab is 8, but here it's been replaced with 4. So the program works fine, and the detab program works. Now that will be all for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.